Hello, this is Alex from PHP Academy, and this is another video for the new Boston on appending data onto the end of a file, or the contents inside the file. So we've already established, we've opened up names.txt with the property of write, so we're writing to it. We've written the name Alex and Billy, and we also have closed the file and then given a written confirmation. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to open up the file itself. So yeah, names.txt. Now what happens if I want to add to this list? So I'm going to change this to A. Okay, now I'm going to put Stephen, that's fine, and I'm going to put Tom. So what I've done now is I've written I've already written a name. In fact, let's just get rid of that. I've already written names to this file. If we go back and have a look, refresh it, Alex and Billy. Now what I want to do is say another line break after Billy, write the name Stephen, and then another line break. And this is appending, whereas before if we were doing W, it would overwrite everything in the file. So if we use A and we go back and we click on file, we can see that it's simply added it to the end of the list. Now if we go back, I'll show you an example in case you haven't caught it. If I was to just do a W, now watch what happens when I run the file. So file.php, we go back, you can see now that we just have the name Stephen and we have that line break before that. So you can now understand the importance of using the W or the append. Now why do we have these two features? Obviously we need to at one instant we need to open up a file and write to it, and then we close it and we may never need to use it again. However, in most cases we'll be opening up a file and rewriting names to it, and I'm going to give you a real life example. Let's we'll just tighten this code up a bit here, and we're going to keep it as append, but I'm going to get rid of this just here for now. Now I'm going to come under here and I'm going to create a form, and the action of the form is going to be file.php, the file we're currently using, and the method is going to be post. Now what I'm going to do is end the form, and I'm going to specify a form field for the user to enter a name. So name, and then input type equals text, name equals name. I'm going to break down a couple more lines, and input type equals submit, and the value of that is submit. So this is what we're displaying to the user. Okay, so let's just comment out this code for now and preview our form, and we can see what it looks like. Oh no, that's names.txt, file.php. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Let's just get rid of names.txt. Okay, so we've got rid of names.txt. If we open up the browser, we can see that that's now gone. Now, what we need to do is we need to this data is automatically going to be posted, as we've seen before with file handling. So what we need to do is, before we create this, in fact we'll get rid of that altogether. What we want to do is we want to perform a check to see if this variable is set. So if name is set, remember we're posting this from here, so we're using the $_post because we've set the method to post, and we're using the isSet function to check this has been set. So if it has been set, we can specify this variable. So I'm going to say name equals $_post name. Okay, and now what we want to do is we want to say if not empty name else, and in here we can just do an error message, please type type a name. Okay, so in here what we want to do now is, if the user has entered a name, we're all okay, so we can just test the functionality of this now. Click on file.php. So I'm going to type in a name, Alex. Click submit. So that's okay. If we don't type anything in, it prompts us to type a name. So this is all very well and good, but now we're inside here, what do we want to do? We want to open up a handle and we want to open names.txt. And we want to open up this to append. Now what we want to do is fwrite, and we want to write to handle. So what data do we want to write to this? We want to write name. Now we want to append on a line break, so a full backslash and n. So all the functionality of this program is we're asking the user to enter names, and every time they click submit and they submit a new name, it's going to write it to a new line in this file. So this is a real life example of where you can store data for your user input. Now we're going to say fclose, the all important fclose, and we're going to say handle inside that. So now let's check if it works. At the moment, if we go back to our file handling directory, we've got no names.txt. But once we type a name in and click submit, we haven't given a confirmation message, but all we can do is we can go back to here. You can see that a names.txt file exists, and we've got Alex in there. So let's go back again and type a new name in, click submit. Okay, and let's type in Stephen while we're here, and we can type Tom while we're here as well, so submit. So now if we go back to file handling directory and look in our names.txt, we can see that this has appended each name that we've processed through the form. That's appended that onto the end the end of the content of this file. So that's about it for appending. In the next tutorial, we're going to be looking at reading this data in and then displaying it back out to the user.